Oh, where is this coming from, man? I'm actually a moron, like genuinely. Well, isn't this a sight for sore eyes? Old Faithful is coming back to the channel. So long-time viewers will know I have had this car since the beginning of time. Some say that when James Cook came to Australia, Captain Cook, this car was still being worked on. That's just what I hear through the grapevine. But anyway, as you guys may know, about 6 months ago, I moved into the shop with my mates Rex and Lachlan. Now, this whole place is a blessing. I love it. But there is one thing I can say for a fact is that it takes up a lot of time and a lot of money. So cars like this get put on the back burner. Now, it's not an excuse, but as you guys may also know, I acquired an AU XR6, which I needed up and running. It's my daily driver. I drive it every day. But now that that car's relatively sorted, it's time to turn my attention to this. So as you might be able to see over there, there are a few parts ready to go in. Another thing before we get started, you might see I have a hoist, which I did reveal in the last video at the very end. So here we are, we have a hoist. So before we get started on my Turbo EF, I'm gonna roll the clips from a couple of days ago when Mason and his brother Zach were installing this hoist. Just rocked up to the shop bright and early, got Mason back, Merc, Fab and servicing. This is the man that installed Rex's hoist, and of course he's doing mine. That's what we're going ahead and doing. Well, not me, I'm just standing around because I don't know what I'm doing. But what do you reckon of the hoist, Mason?
I reckon it's pretty good. Molnar's back in the day, even still to this day, they're still a very good hoist. He picked it up pretty cheap, which is pretty good, which is always the plus side. And yeah, it's gonna be a good little setup for you.
I hope so. You said something about the cables, right?
Cables are there is a little bit of wear on the cables, but due to the age of a hoist, it is normal and common for hoists to have a little bit of slight cracks and stuff, but that's no drama. We still get parts for them, so.
Sweet, all right. Let's
get into it, eh?
Yep, sweet. So keen for this hoist, man. So excited. Still has to be wired up, but oh man, it's gonna be a game changer. Massive shout out to the Merc boys, Mason and his brother Zach, absolute legends. So there you have it. This is my 25-year-old Molnar 3-ton hoist. It's a clear floor. As you can see, this is exactly what I wanted. It has been used and abused, but hopefully it'll serve me for many moons to come. I just want to give a massive shout out to Mason at Merc Fabrication and Service. Installed this hoist, and of course, Rex's hoist. Did a killer job and did it in record time too. So if you guys have a hoist or are planning to put a hoist in your space, hit up Merc and say that Nathan sent you, or Rex, and hopefully Mason looks after you guys too. But anyway, back to business. So as you can see, I have started trying to put the dry belt on until I realized that this thing is junk. Let me get this. But this belt is too short. I don't know why I have this or how I acquired it, but it is too short. So we'll just put that there. So the reason why I need to put the dry belt on is because this AC delete pulley runs really close to the throttle body. So I need to put this on so I can take the throttle body off and weld a 90-degree elbow onto it. But we need this on for reference. So let's go and do that quickly. Alright, so the dry belt's on now, and I've acquired a brand new radiator because my one resembled Swiss cheese more than an actual radiator. So we're gonna chuck this in. I just went to the wreckers really quick and grabbed all the hardware. And I just made a discovery. This car just keeps getting better and better. As you guys may know, probably about 6 months ago, I installed this thermostat expansion tank delete thing. So it's got a cap here, like a regular car, and then the thermostat is in there. Now what that means obviously is that there's no expansion tank, which normally sits here. But the standard radiator that I bought has the pipe that goes from the expansion tank normally to a little pipe down there. So I'm probably gonna have to use a door stopper and a hose clamp to block it off, because otherwise it's just gonna be pouring coolant out and we can't have that. But now with this trusty hardware that I got from the wreckers, we can now bolt the rad in. And I'm gonna show you one more thing, which is over there that I picked up from the wreckers, which is very exciting. So like I was saying before, when I was at the wreckers, I picked up something which I did not expect to see, an aftermarket transmission cooler. Now, you might be wondering, Nathan, isn't this a drift car and isn't it manual? Well, yes, you're correct, which is why this is going to be my new power steering cooler. And because I'm not running an AC condenser, I can sandwich it in between the intercooler and the radiator. So it's gonna sit, which is lovely, I think. So I've just mounted it up. It's got 2 M4 bolts and nuts holding out the bottom and 2 rivets. Yes, I know it's not pretty, but it's got 2 rivets. You could honestly jack the freaking whole car off that. It's that solid in there. So now we need to run the lines. The line that I got at the wreckers, which is this is the return line off the power steering rack. So what I'll do is I'll put a barb in there and it'll join up to the power steering cooler on one end, and then the other end, it'll go into the power steering reservoir. There we go. And then we simply chuck it into the end of our janky power steering hose that I got at the wreckers, like that. Perfect. Hose clampus on the end of that. Bob's your uncle. This is the return line off the rack right there, but it's gonna run through the frame rail, I reckon, here, out the front, and then into the power steering cooler. And then the top barb will go straight back into the power steering reservoir. So here is one line done. Bottom of the power steering cooler, through the chassis rail. Yes, I know. Connects to the barb and then goes to the rack just under the exhaust manifold there. So now that the power steering cooler is all mounted, looking beautiful, we need to get this thing onto Rex's hoist. I would use mine, but it's not wired up yet. Finalize those lines on the rack, just do whatever else I can see while I'm under there, and fill the transmission up with oil. New viewer to the channel. This thing actually has an AU Falcon subframe. So yeah, everything is AU underneath. AU rack, AU lowers, AU uppers, everything is AU, and it has cut and shut knuckles as well. But first, I need to put the dingers back on. I really mangled these. There you go. And there's another one. They're a little bit munted, but she'll be right. So for some reason, I don't know if it's just my T5 or E-Series T5s are like this, but the drain and fill plug, they're a 3/8 Allen key, not 10mm or 8mm, it's Imperial, which is weird. Oh, very tight. Who did this up? Bloody hell, mate. Smells like a combination of gear oil and ATF. Now, this is gonna be very controversial. I am putting ATF in it because I like to go off what other people do and other drifters and stuff like that. My mate Rex has been running fully synthetic Dextron 3 in his T5 for probably 3 or 4 years, and it's been main track countless times and nothing has gone wrong with it. Oh, surely it's full by now, bloody hell. Oh, perfect, right on cue, lovely. This is the first time this gearbox has seen gear oil in 3 years almost. There we go, gearbox is full. Now onto the power steering. Next are the high pressure power steering lines, which I installed earlier. There's one more line I forgot to tighten up, which is on the power steering pump. So I'll quickly do that and fill it with power steering fluid and see if we can potentially fill it up with water and start it briefly. But I'm worried about that alternator. It's there, obviously, but the problem is it's got no wiring, which means it doesn't charge. So that might have to be for another video, but look at that. Power steering fluid. Something's up with the fuel pump. I don't know. I can't hear it priming, so probably can't get it started. I'm gonna have to diagnose that, but yeah, still made pretty good progress today, I reckon. We know that the radiator fits. We know that we can bolt the thermofans in. We got the power steering cooler now. That's all plumbed up. Oh, hold on. Good thing the fuel pump wasn't working. I completely forgot I had to undo this fuel feed line. This would have sprayed fuel everywhere. Rocks. seriously rocks in my head. Oh, where is this coming from, man? I'm actually a moron, like genuinely. I've had a long day and I'm like, power steering fluid, I wonder where that's coming from. Oh, maybe the two holes on the rack? Now it's made a mess. What's a project car without leaks, you know?